Hi there everybody and welcome to the Watch channel. Today I wanted to do a bit of a video about Christmas gifting and in particular Christmas gifting for watch lovers. So if you are buying for a watch lover or you are a watch lover and you're thinking about self-gifting, then stay tuned. Now before we get started, the purpose of this video was to show you some watches that I recommend or I really like. Now for those of you who have been viewers of my channel for some time, you will know that I am more on the value end. So I've got a wide range of watches. I'm looking down here because I've got some of them here for you, but we've got Paganis, we've got Bulovas, SteelDive, a wide variety of watches to suit every single budget and every particular style that you would want. Okay guys, so the first watch that I'm going to recommend is one that I haven't reviewed on the channel yet. It is coming because I'm just doing the content for it along with this video. And it's a watch that's really taken me quite by surprise, and it is this, the SteelDive 1970. So affectionately known as the Willard watch, and Willard because Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now wore a Seiko 6109 I think it was, which this watch is sort of a homage to. I'm going to put all the dimensions and stuff up on the video now so that you can see, and I'll do it with all the other models that I show you. But I got this on the rubber strap, as you can see, which is very nice, sort of like a racing style strap. The loom on this watch is remarkable. In fact, I would go so far as to say it's better than a Seiko or a Citizen. I'm going to put some footage up for you to show you, but that is what really wowed me with this watch. You get Seiko and H35 movement, wonderful loom, 200 meters water resistance. It comes in a variety of different colorways, so you can get it on a steel strap. You can get it with the logo on the face, you can get it without the logo. Like I say, have a look in the link that I've put here for you, and you can get it in, like I say, different colorways and different variations, but very, very good watch. Now, at worst, you'd be paying about 140 Australian for this, I think, which, you know, for a watch with a sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coating, 200 meters water resistance, and that classic sort of 70s retro diver look, can't be beaten. Really recommend it. So that's the first watch that I would recommend. Number two watch is from Pagani Design, and it is this beauty, which is the Pagani Design PDYS 001, is it? I'll put the bit in here down here anyway so you can see it. But in short, it is the homage to the Seamaster 300 Heritage model, very similar to the Bond Seamaster Spectre. But like I say, really nice watch. If you like something that is sort of 60s style, then this is definitely something that you should consider. It comes with an enamel bezel. Loom on it is not fantastic, and that is a common complaint with these sort of budget watches outside of number one, which was the SteelDive. But it's not bad, you know, it's just not great. Like I say, stainless steel case, great bracelet, nice milled clasp. Just a wonderful sort of retro looking watch. Before I forget, Pagani's now come in this very, very nice box. So you get this lovely brown outer box with the gold Pagani Design logo, and then you get this nice blue and camel sort of coloured box. It has like a faux sort of leather effect on it, but it actually comes across as like a sunburst. But again, bearing in mind this is for Christmas, you know, it's nice to have something that's got a bit of class for it. And again, considering the price point for these watches and what they're actually packaged in, they look a lot more expensive than what you're actually paying. So new packaging. Make sure when you actually do buy it though, you do choose new yellow box, I think they call it. Anyway, that's that. Okay guys, so watch number three is this, and it's another one from Pagani Design, and it is the Pagani Rolex Explorer 2 Homage. Now, I've got the polar dial version. This is my personal one. I've had it for over 6 months, and it is an absolute wonder, a joy to wear. Solid end links, sapphire crystal, nice bracelet, nice milled clasp, the same as every Pagani for that matter. Loom again is okay. It's not what I would call fantastic, but it's good enough. And that is the common complaint again with Pagani's. Pagani, if you're watching this, please do the SteelDive loom on your watches, because that would just make them, well, probably the best value watch out there, if they're not already, but like I say, great. These watches, you can have them somewhere between 120 to 150 bucks. Again, link there if you want to buy it. Like I say, it comes in 2 colorways and 2 versions, and I'm sure you can now choose whether you have the old box or the new box, which I've just shown you. While we're on the topic of GMTs, the GMT Master 2 Homage from Pagani. Now, big news here is that the Explorer 2 uses a Chinese movement. Pagani have recently released the GMT Master Homages with the new Seiko NH34 GMT movement. Now for me that's massive because the Seiko movements are highly reliable. They're workhorse movements that are going to last you forever and a day. They don't need servicing. You know, they're not well embellished. They're not, you know, refined GMTs by any stretch in terms of the way the movement's manufactured. They are mass produced, but they're mass produced by Seiko. And you know what? If they're good enough for Seiko to put their name to, then I'm more than happy seeing them in a watch such as Pagani design. I think it's a great move from Pagani to put them into their watches. You can get them in a variety of different colorways. Again, you're seeing the pictures now. You've got the Pepsi, you've got the Coke, you've got the root beer, you've got the left-hand drive Sprite version as well. They're just wonderful watches. Now, I have owned the Batman, I've owned the Pepsi, and I've also owned the root beer. All of them came working fine, no problems. Admittedly, they were the Chinese movement, the DG833, I think it is. I haven't got my hands on the NH34s, but I'm certainly going to be doing that over the Christmas period. Again, link if you want to have a look at those, but NH34s, you're probably going to be paying around about 200 bucks for one of those, a little less if it's in US dollars, but here in Australia, yeah, about 200 pesos. Moving away from the world of automatics, which have been the watches that we've seen so far, we're now moving to quartz. So at this point, I expect some of you to switch off. But quartz technology, especially in the watch that I'm about to show you, is absolutely remarkable. This is not your regular quartz movement or watch by any stretch. So if you're a fan of the Speedmaster, then this is the watch that I would recommend getting that would save you thousands and thousands more in servicing costs down the track. It is the Bulova Lunar Pilot. Now it comes in a variety of different colorways. This is the, I've had this watch for about 7 years. So this was the original one that came out with the metal strap and the modern Bulova logo. There are versions, and I'll show you now, there's a dark version and there is also a 50th anniversary version. Now, this one you can pick up anywhere between $350 to $700. The anniversary edition, which is the two-tone on titanium, gold and silver, you're looking at maybe 1,300 bucks. And the dark side of the moon, or the black version, PVD version, you're going to be looking at maybe 400 or 500 bucks for that particular watch. Like I say, really nice watches. The one thing that I would say though is the silver watch wears really quite large. So I've got a 7¼ inch wrist, and it, well, you know what, I'll put it on for you now so you can see. But for me, I feel the watch is fine. But if you do have a smaller wrist, just be aware this one does wear a little large. If you like the watch and you're a little bit concerned about the size, even though the dark version is the same dimensions, it does look smaller on the wrist. Now, I've heard people say that, but I can testify to that myself. I've put it on, it does look smaller. So if you are liking this particular style of watch, go for the dark version if you have smaller wrists. Now, I mentioned that the movement. It's essentially a 262 kilohertz movement. What that means is that it has a slightly higher resonance than a typical quartz watch, which translates into more accuracy. Now, it's stated that this watch is accurate to there or thereabouts 10 seconds per year, which puts it as a UHQ or a UHA, so ultra high accuracy quartz watch. Now, if you're going to be buying something like this from Breitling, or you're going to be buying something like this from the Grand Seiko range, you're going to be paying at least $3,000 or $4,000. Like I say, this at worst is going to cost you 600 bucks, but you can commonly find it for 300, 350, 400 bucks if you look and you know where to go. I'm going to put a link again to the guys at SteelDive, who I purchased this watch from. Go and check it out. Have a chat with them if you get a better price. They're always happy to price match, so ring Deepak or Olivia and give them a call. I'm sure they'll be able to do a deal for you. So that is the Bulova Lunar Pilot. So we've just shown you the Bulova Lunar Pilot, which is obviously a very similar to the Speedmaster from Omega. Pagani Design also do a Speedmaster Homage. In fact, it's difficult to think of an iconic watch that they don't have a homage for. But this one in particular is very good. Again, it has that VK63 movement from Seiko, so it's sort of like a mecha quartz, so it does look like an automatic movement when you click the chronograph, but it's quartz accuracy and more than that quartz reliability. As such, it's a really cheap watch. Again, links here, but you're talking maybe 120 bucks. They are currently on the V3 version. So the V3 is signified by the fact that it has a matching date window, color date window, and the hands are white as per what you would find on the Speedmaster. Again, if you like the Omega Speedmaster, but you don't have Omega Speedmaster money, and again, the purpose of this video is to try and give people budget options or alternative affordable options to some of those kinds of iconic watches, then the Pagani Speedmaster is certainly something you should consider. It does come in a variety of different colorways, so you can get it with the anniversary edition, so the two-tone gold and silver. You can get the traditional Speedy. You can get the Snoopy version, which is the blue and white dial. Like I say, have a look at the pictures. Fantastic watch, and again, slightly cheaper than the Bulova, but nowhere near as expensive as the Speedmaster. Another Pagani this time. This time it's a little bit more on the dressy side. So any of you are Royal Oak fans, then this Pagani here will certainly interest you. Again, Seiko NH35 movement, sapphire crystal, nice bracelet. What more do you want to say? It just demonstrates absolute value and gives you the look that you're looking for. I mean, I think this watch in Australia retail is about $42,000 if you're wanting the Royal Oak. This probably about 140, something like that, maybe even less. Like I say, link there for you guys if you're interested in it. I'll put some footage up for you. I've even got a video review for you, so you can see that. I'll put it all in the video description, so you've got a ton of resources. But very, very nice watch. The bracelet on this in particular I like. It's got so many different facets to it. It's finished really well. So like I say, great watch. A little bit dressier than the others. Certainly a little bit worn for business or formal wear. We are now back to Pagani, and this time it is the Daytona Homage. Now I have had two of these. I purchased the meteorite dial effect version on a rubber strap for me personally, and I also bought my father-in-law the white dial or panda dial version, which he wears quite commonly. And I must say, even when I see it at distance on his wrist, I still take a double take on it. I think it's a wonderful looking watch. Really cheap watch, maybe sort of 120, 130 bucks you can buy these for. Again, link, there's a whole ton of options available. Sapphire crystal, solid end links, nice oyster bracelet, water resistant. What more do you want? For that price point, I think it's a fantastic watch. Like I say, if somebody likes Daytonas, that's definitely a watch to get if they don't mind homages. Next up is the Pagani Design Ranger. Now this is a relatively new model from Pagani. A couple of things that I like about this. First of all, 36 mils case diameter. So all of these watches are somewhere between sort of 42 to 44 mils in diameter. This at 36 is much smaller, so therefore if you've got a small wrist or you like smaller size watches, then this is definitely something for you to consider. The second component is that Pagani, with it being a new model, and I hope this is something they translate to the entire range actually, is they're just using the Pagani logo, not Pagani design on the dial. So I think that makes it very, very simple and really easy to read watch. So guys, there you have it, the watches that I would recommend for Christmas. If you do have any questions though, please do put them in the comments section and I'll come back to you when I can. Other than that, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.